recite that to us?
Oh, for heaven's sakes. The possum story is maybe one of the most traumatic experiences that I've had in probably my whole life. So I guess one afternoon I was taking my afternoon nap, and I heard the pitter patter of feet across my family room floor, and so I saw something run by me. And I sat up, and I thought at first that it was a rat. And I knew at that moment that I'd probably have to sell my house and move if I had rats in my house. But it turned out not to be a rat. I followed it to the fireplace, and I looked in the fireplace, and it was a possum. And it was a possum that was quite possibly as upset as I was, and it was hissing, and I was screaming, and we were both worked up a great deal, and so I didn't quite know what to do, and neither did the possum. He was cornered, and I felt cornered, and so I freaked, I guess, and so I started running through all the possible scenarios of how to get this possum out of my house as quickly as possible. And so with a rake and with a large dust broom and with a cardboard box and a piece of wood, I shepherded this this not very happy possum into the box. And I put the box in the back of my pickup truck, and I drove the possum to Tower Grove Park by my house. And there I released the possum, and I'm almost positive that he probably beat me home when I turned around and went home. One way or another, when I got home, I knew that I had to look around the house for more possums. I was afraid that maybe if there's one, there might be more. And so I started to worry. And so I spent hours looking through cabinets and under the refrigerator and behind furniture and under furniture. And then once I was sure that the upper story of my house was free and clear of possums, I knew that I had to go to the basement. And this upset me a great deal, because now not only would I have to look for the scary possums, I'd have to do it in the scariest part of my house. And so my house is like a dungeon, and it's dark and it's musty and it's stone walls and no sunlight comes in. And so I was looking all around for possums, and I looked in an old coal room, and there were no possums there. And I looked in an old tool room, or kind of a tool shed down there in my basement. No possums there. And then I went to the laundry room, and there was a big pile of laundry and what looked like a dusty footsteps going to that pile of laundry. And I began to get very, very worried that there was a possum who had hid underneath the pile of laundry. And so I began with the rake to pick up clothes, shirt by shirt, from this pile of laundry. And then all of a sudden, a possum sprung out from inside that pile of laundry. And I screamed, it hissed, and again, I was in the same situation as before. This possum felt cornered, and I felt cornered, and I felt like my house had been invaded by these evildoers, these possums. And so I didn't know what to do. And so I tried to, you always hear that if you scare a possum, it'll fall over and pretend to be dead. And this possum didn't do this. It was a bold possum. And so the more noise I made, rather than fall over and pretend to be dead, it would just hiss louder. And using the same methods as before, the tools and rakes and other implements of destruction, I shepherded this possum out, and it took me maybe a week before I could look underneath a piece of furniture or walk into a dark room without expecting a possum to spring out at me. And so that is a fear that I live with to this day.